How's it going? I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the blues scale. I love the blues scale. I use it all the time. So what is the blues scale? The blues scale is basically the minor pentatonic scale, if you ever learned that, with one extra note. It's very similar to playing a minor pentatonic, but it's got an extra note. I'm going to show you first the E, key of E blues scale, which lays out really nice on the dobro because it's kind of minor, so E minor is real friendly to this open G tuning. So we have root, minor third, 4. This sharp 4, that's the note that's not in the pentatonic. B is a 5, dominant 7, and root. That's how I think about it. Now the minor pentatonic is these notes. With the extra blues note we have. And you can make a lot of really great melodies with that. So the blues scale is really fun to play with, and I use it all the time. G is a little more awkward in the open position. So another one that I included was the G. Now the reason G is a little awkward in the open position is because B, the major third, is not part of it. So we have this open string here, the second string, that we can't use. There's a lot of great stuff here in the middle two strings for G blues. On the open and the third fret. So that's part of it. That's pretty useful. Now, the other thing I do an awful lot is just play it in closed position. And oftentimes I do this in the key of G too. I'm going to show you the key of C first. And so when I say closed position, I'm not going to use any open strings. When I go to the key of C, I'm just going to go to the 5th fret and I play this pattern. Can go all the way up there. Kind of makes this nice little shape between the 5th and 3rd frets here. Now remember, anytime you learn a scale, if you just play the scale up and down, it doesn't really start turning into music yet. So what you need to do is kind of like make up some melodies, mix up the order of the notes and play with it. And you're trying to develop a vocabulary of things you can say with this new language that is the blues scale. So you're developing a new language. Now we've got a scale. It's the blues scale. We have to figure out when is the right time to use it. When's the right time to use a blues scale? Well, there's lots of answers to that. I use it quite a bit. The most common thing is when you're actually playing a blues song, which is typically 12 bars with the 1, 4, and 5. If you see a lot of dominant 7 chords, if you're in the key of E and you've got E7, A7, B7, then you know for sure it's blues, but sometimes the 7s aren't there. But if you're playing a song that is a 12-bar blues progression, you can stay with one scale throughout and play the blues scale start to finish on it. So I'm going to give you an example of that right now. An example I have on the website is Hank Williams' Mind Your Own Business. Now that's a 12-bar blues in E. Great, right? So in E, I've got the blues scale here. Now, oftentimes this open B string, I might play that on the 4th fret on the 3rd string instead. Same thing I do in the key of G, and that's for a couple of reasons. It connects well with that. It's also the B string, I tune that flat. So in the key of E, that might be sour sounding if I play this open string, but if I play it on the 4th fret, it'll hopefully sound better. I can also, if I take this C position that I did, that's the movable one. So if I want to move that to the key of E, I'm going to go up to the 9th fret. Play that shape up there. So here goes. This is with Mind Your Own Business, and I'm using the real world Dobro version. And I just recently made it so that you can remove the vocal. So I just removed the vocal. It's going to start with a turnaround. So it starts with the last 4 bars, and then it'll get to the top. So I'm going to let it kind of get going here.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
So here's the turnaround. And then here comes the top of the form. I'm going to play some blues. So down here. Pretty good. I'm going to try it up here closed. All right. That's how the blues scale sounds if you play it over a blues progression. And that's pretty straightforward. You go, oh, it's a blues song. I can play the blues scale. Makes a lot of sense. But really what we're doing is we're developing this language, right? So now you have this different thing you can say. If you think about like playing in a major, if you're in E, nice, pretty major stuff, right? And then, you know, this blues thing is going to be this little bit of kind of like, it's not quite super dark, but it's just a little bit got a little twist, a little, I think of it as a jab in the ribs. It's like when you're playing a song that isn't a blues song, you're playing a major stuff, and you throw in a blues lick, it's just a little bit of so you can inject the blues into other songs, and as you develop this vocabulary, you just have more things you can say. So when you're saying something nice and pretty, really nice, and then all of a sudden you tell a joke or you stab them in the ribs. And I'm going to see if I can show you how that works. I'm going to play a little bit of Your Cheatin' Heart. So this is in the key of C, C major. And this is not a typical place to play blues, but I'm gonna start by just kind of playing major and play it along with it, and then once in a while I'm gonna give it a little jab, and I'll let you know when I do. And that's something you can do with the blues scale. So here's Your Cheatin' Heart.
1, 2.
Same kind of thing.
1,
Real
2,
world dobro.
3, 4.
It's got to turn around. Your Cheatin' Heart. All right. So nice C major, right? That's kind of a chord shape based thing, right? I'll put some blues in right here. So it didn't really fit, but it kind of, I'll go back to, let's see. Little blues here. I'll go back to major. Right at the end is always a nice spot to go blues. Okay, so that's an example of how I would use the blues scale. I'm just kind of extending my musical vocabulary. So when I'm playing a solo, I want to be able to say some stuff. And I'm not always just trying to say, I can play the right notes. Sometimes I want to just kind of hit that little blues, it's just the right amount wrong, and yeah, I love the way that sounds. So hope you enjoyed this. Hope this gives you some ideas. Just mess around with this scale. Spend some time just kind of develop this new vocabulary that you can add to your playing and give you a whole different dimension on what you're able to say. So have fun with this, and we'll see you guys next time.